I've said very little, and that's for a reason. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah,
a lot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Not Just Football. You know me, Hayden Walsh, or maybe you don't know me, Hayden Walsh, but you know the next guy I'm about to introduce, coming off a tough season, Cam Heyward. Welcome to the Cam Heyward Show, or Not Just Football with Cam Heyward. Cam, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm glad we took a week off. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I think it was better. I'm glad we knocked 2 episodes out before the game, but I think it was good to take a week off. I think it was good to kind of get away from things. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I was like, you know what's funny? I was thinking about before we got on the record, one thing about the game. I couldn't even really feel anything about the game because so much shit happened directly the next day that it's the loss. I don't even know, but we'll get into that. Let's get into the national championship last night. I got a question for you. Did you actually watch the game?
I watched the fourth quarter. Actually, I watched the second half. I did.
I'll say this: the fourth quarter was really the only thing that you needed to watch in that game.
Yeah,
the first half was kind of boring. Not a lot happened. The block punt was nice, but what'd you think of the game? Indiana, an improbable championship. I really can't believe this feels like NCAA dynasty when you play it online.
Yeah,
that Indiana won a national championship, but as 2 Big Ten guys, I think it's kind of cool to see Indiana, who's been the worst program in the conference, win. But what'd you think, and how'd you think the college kids played last night?
Well, first you gotta say Big Ten dominance, 3 years running. It reminds me of all the SEC haters out there that have been saying, that's where you win national championships. And
or no, it just means more. Remember,
it just means more.
It just means more until everybody can pay. That what everybody else can pay. Then all of a sudden the playing field's even. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and big props to Indiana. It's funny. I didn't know Mark Cuban was as big as a fan of Indiana until they started winning. So nice to see that. But man, to watch Indiana have a 16-0 season, it's really cool. To see Kurt Signetti, a Pittsburgh guy, to find out about his Pittsburgh roots throughout his process this year, it's been special. And then to watch the Hoosiers, I know a lot of people make a big deal about how Mendoza is in his interviews, but man, the way he played this year is pretty special.
That interview, I don't know. I can't tell if he's doing it on purpose. Part of me wonders if he is. He has to know what he said yesterday, right?
What did he say yesterday?
He'll take shots in the back or the front. He don't care how he has to take his back shots or whatever he said. He knew what he was saying there.
Someone been watching this heated rivalry.
He knew what he was doing there, but it was very impressive. What'd you think of Mendoza? Obviously, I think he's going to be the number 1 pick. How do you think he played? And what do you think of his NFL future?
I think he played okay. I don't think he had his best game.
I agree.
I don't think it was, a lot to stand out, but some of that's just because of Miami. Miami plays I will say the refs let those DBs play all game. They were
on both sides though.
Yeah,
both
they were
sides.
all ragdolling each other. And so, that can somewhat mess up rhythm and everything. But he made the big plays when it counted. And that has to stand for a lot. I love the 4th and 5 call and doing a QB draw.
Gotta have balls.
You do.
You better convert on that.
Yep.
You better convert.
Because a lot of people are going to talk about it, but I got to give him props. He went out and performed a couple back shoulder throws, and that's really what separated the game because every time they answered, it felt like Miami had a counterpunch. Malachi Toney really brought his best game, and to think he's only a freshman and he was breaking away from everybody, it's going to be interesting to see how they are next year.
Entered the year 17 years old. That is insane, Cam, to be as
Young
good as
legs.
He was this year as a freshman. Insane. It's also funny to me, man. It's obviously football, very complex game, but also very simple game. The block punt for a touchdown is the difference in that game, and a missed field goal by Miami. That's 10 points right there, man. Miami had every chance in the world to win that game. I'm with you too. Those 2 edge guys, what did you think about them on defense? Talk about the D-line play you saw from Miami. Jason Taylor, by the way, the coach of the defensive line for Miami, which is insane that a Hall of Famer is coaching you defensively. So what do you think of the Miami D-line?
I think it speaks for itself. When you have Jason Taylor coaching you up, you better ball like Jason Taylor. And all throughout that front, They even made a big deal about how the inside guys don't get a lot of, notoriety just because the outsides are so good, but they balled too. They applied a lot of pressure. They had that dude bleeding in the first quarter. So, they came to play. There wasn't a lot of give in this game. The defenses really stepped up. And then at the end, just felt like if one guy was short, it led to a touchdown. So no, those guys are going first round for a reason, and they have a really good D line. They're just going to get it done at the end.
Yeah, it was crazy. Indiana also made the crucial mistake. Get to the 2nd and 1, the false start, then you have to end up kicking the field goal late. It's crazy how little things, though, in that game. If Carson Beck doesn't throw the pick late, who knows what happens, right?
Well, the false start, I was like, that O lineman's going to be kicking himself. He's going to be distraught after the game. If they had went down, scored, and got the PAT, that would have been insane. But it just felt like Miami was just creeping up the entire game. Luckily, they got the pick at the end because it felt like if they get in the red zone, Miami probably scores.
Yeah, I mean, in significantly less plays. Indiana kind of controlled the ball for most of the game. But give Miami credit, man. That's a hell of a game. Carson Beck in like his 8th year in college, I thought he was going to be able to do it. But what do you think about Cignetti, though? You talk about a Pittsburgh guy taking that program. He's 61 years old. So what do you think the future is for him? A pro job, or does he stay at Indiana and build something?
I think he's trying to build something at Indiana. You talked about how he's 60 years old, but I loved in his interview after the game, he talked about how nobody would have thought Indiana would have been there and how he's, just excited of where he's at. I think the thing that's going to be more prominent in college football, the older players are going to dominate.
For sure.
And the younger players, because they're impatient, because they're going elsewhere, they are going to fall behind, and you're going to see guys like Carson Beck. You're going to see guys like Mendoza late into his career start to shine just because it almost feels like how college basketball used to be in the day. If you were able to keep your core and go into your junior and senior year, you were going to be rated high. You were going to have the much better team. It helps because NIL is spreading out. So it's not just you're going to an Alabama. If you create a team that's able to stay together and you add on pieces late, you're probably going to be destined for, going far in the college playoff.
Well, there's so much more incentive to stay now too for guys. Like if you're a running back, you know what the situation is in the NFL. I know you want to get to your next contract, but if a team's going to pay you a couple $1 million to come play for a season or two, why wouldn't you do it, right? I mean, and you look at that Indiana roster, man, that's a bunch of grown men. They got a 26-year-old on that roster, and that's nothing against them, but he did a great job of getting his guys from JMU and other spots and building a roster. And that, you're right, that's what's going to win from now on. It will no longer be the young guys dominating the game, right?
I think it's going to be very rare to see a Tim Tebow who comes in as a freshman and plays a little bit and then takes over as a sophomore. It's going to be the seniors and the guys who've transferred and stayed at or, are older in their positions that will really dominate the next level at this level.
But I think too, you have a situation where teams sometimes are forced to play the freshmen, right? Yeah. Michigan kind of probably felt forced to play the freshmen because they paid them so much money, right? So the money will be interesting to see how you spend. I also think too, this affects high school recruiting because if I'm a guy, I kind of want to hit the portal to see who's available before I even go to my high school class because there's a chance that guy's transferring in a year anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the portal is going to be more advantageous rather than kids coming from high school. And so it's going to be, do you want a proven commodity or do you want to take a risk and see what you got?
Yeah, no, I think also too, that last night is the best excuse for NIL because Indiana never had a chance before. And now Indiana's the national champion. And I think if you're at a school where you got boosters like Mark Cuban, they're all going to want to get in this game now because they just said, hey, Indiana can do it. It took 2 years for Indiana to do this. So really, I think it's actually a really good time for college football.
Yeah, very good time for college football. And to watch Mendoza, I think that was pretty special, not getting recruited to Miami and then to play at the Hard Rock Stadium. And I don't know how they kept calling it a home game for Indiana. I thought that was crazy to me, how it was a home game for Indiana when it was literally in Miami.
Yeah, but it was 60-40 Indiana in the stadium, I heard, too.
Which is still crazy to me. you're in your hometown. Miami better find ways to get tickets. Like,
yeah, but Indiana has never been there before. They were going to spend a crazy amount of money to get there, and everybody's going to be there because here's the thing too. You don't know if you're ever getting back. You got to go and do it if you got the money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's move on to your game. Obviously, we're a week ago from today, Monday. Steelers lose to the Texans. Tell us what happened, man.
We didn't win.
Oh, I know. I saw that, but what the hell happened?
Going into the fourth, it was 10-6.
I know.
And, that's the thing that's kind of jarring. I know we gave up some yards on defense, but the thing that kept us in the game were turnovers. We got turnovers from our front. We were able to get a turnover from Brandon Echols as well. But I just, we didn't convert that into any points. The end of the game 30-6 when it was 10-6, and two of those turnovers went for touchdowns. It just kind of buried the game. When you're going up against two premier pass rushers in Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson, I have a lot of respect for those guys. They play the game the right way. They are hell to deal with on the edge. And you got to have a good plan, and our plan wasn't good enough. The game never really – our offense really never got started. Our defense, as much as we got some turnovers, we didn't provide any, turnovers going into the red zone enough. And it had a lot of ramifications with, not just losing the playoff game, but, obviously our head coach resigning.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But if I had told you two turnovers is great, but if I told you guys make CJ Stroud fumble the ball 5 times, you're going to want at least 3 of those, right? So it's like, there were opportunities there. You're right. The offense too, 175 yards. I know they're a good defense, but that can't win playoff games.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's 10-6 going to the fourth quarter. It feels like it's a game. And then, also 2 defensive scores don't help that either. So just an all around tough game. Because they were able to run the football too on offense, but let's get into Tomlin. Obviously, I'm going to be honest with you. And I told you this before, I thought you knew something was up just because you just kind of were like maybe taking it in a little bit more, and come to find out you didn't know anything, right? So I saw you the day of everything happening before you went. Then I ended up leaving town and got the news basically as I was leaving. How did you take the news? What was it like? And fill everybody in.
Still processing the news. I think there's a lot to it. And, we play this game to win, and, he's won, but not enough. I went into that meeting, an exit meeting, just trying to figure out what I was doing. But then to lose what, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and, kind of threw everyone.
The face.
Yeah.
I mean, the face of the team. I mean, you've been there, but he's the face of it.
Yeah.
That's who it is, man.
And it was, I don't like to get into detail about it because what stays in that meeting stays in that meeting. But I think it was shocking for us. And, I don't think anybody went in that day thinking Mike T was gone. I had multiple conversations because there was a lot that I needed to be said, and still a lot that needs to be said. But we have to respect this decision. And I will say, like, that dude is capable of whatever he wants, because he is a genius when it comes to football. Really studies the game, really connects. If he goes into TV, if he goes into, any type of consultant, he's going to be great at. But yeah, it was last week. That might have been one of the craziest weeks I've ever had, personally. And, you never really think your coach. It just didn't. It didn't feel like it was his time. But someone with a head coach, you have to guard your players of things, and keep the business a business. And yeah, we'll see.
So you had really no thought ever
No.
that this was even a possibility. Like you didn't even like at any point in the season, even when it was bad, or you heard all the crap outside or the fire Tomlin chants. You never thought that even maybe he was like, man, I don't need this shit. I've done this for 19 years. I've won a Super Bowl. I've never had a losing season. I know everybody hates that stat, but it's damn impressive. Got 193 wins. Like I don't need this shit. My family doesn't need this shit. Like never thought that once. Because I will say there are times where as a fan who heard the fire Tomlin thing, I wouldn't blame him if he felt that way. And I know maybe he's not wired that way, but I wouldn't blame him for being a little bitter. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, come on, man.
He's not wired that way. And I never. There's a reason I never wanted to bring him on the pod, because I just felt like I never wanted it to be a distraction to him, because he's got a million things on, and so many people are trying to put him under a magnifying glass, and rightfully so. Heavy is the head that wears a crown, but you don't know how good you got until it's gone. And obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers have to find a new head coach, and best of luck. But there were probably plenty of takers that were asking about Mike T as soon as he resigned. And he said he was going to take time. And I will share one thing he did say to me, and I was like, how the hell do you even think of this? He was just like, I'm glad I didn't beat Noel's record. And I was like who thinks about that? Like,
what was it? How many did he need?
I think they tied for most wins. And, I was like, that's a respect that he's always had for the history and what Noel did. But man, it's going to be pretty interesting going forward.
Yeah. So take us through you now. What do you, obviously I believe you're still under contract for next year. What do you, how do you go about processing everything that happens? Like, it's like, that's what I was saying about the game. Like, it was like, we couldn't even be upset about the game, or not upset about the game. The game sucked. And I'm sure you were upset about the game, but it's like getting that news the next day is like, almost like it weirdly felt like a death. Like it really did. It felt like a death. Like it really did. Like it was like I'll never forget where I was when I got that news. And I'm sure you'll never forget the feeling in that meeting room and what the emotions were in that meeting room. But like, so it's like, it's hard to even process the game, because it's like, man, this is how quick the league moves. Like, so it's like, where are you at right now mentally with everything going on?
Before we get to that, I would just mention what I was referring to was Tomlin tying Chuck Knowles for most regular season wins in franchise history.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But back to where I'm at, I'm laying low right now. I don't think, I've been told don't make any emotional decisions.
I mean, yeah. Good Lord. Good Lord. Yes, that's true.
I've been, I'm just shutting up and just letting the process take care of itself. I don't need to, I just need to breathe a little bit. It's been a long season. And, we'll see. This isn't something I'm going to rush, but I'll be ready either way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I would agree. Don't make any emotional decisions. I think obviously you know that better than me. But it's also been like a week.
Yeah, it's a week. I have to. You gotta breathe.
I mean, dude, you just got knocked out of the playoffs, and the coach is gone now. I think like it would be insane for you to have any decision on anything what you want going forward. I do have a question. Did you talk to Rooney or Omar Khan after Tomlin's decision?
Yes.
Okay. And those were positive conversations. You don't got to tell me what happened, but you feel good about those conversations?
I think the conversations are where they are.
Do you get the sense they were surprised, if you don't mind me asking?
Just listening to Mr. Rennie speak and what I thought this whole time, I don't think anybody expected it.
Okay.
But 19 seasons in one place, that's pretty damn special.
I saw Jay Glazer saying he doesn't think he'll coach again. If you had to guess, do you think he coaches again in the NFL? He could get that Brady money. Me and you talked about that Brady broadcast money. Tomlin could get it. If he wants it, he could get it. Like he could if he wants it, he could get it.
I think TV would be dumb not to give him every bit of the money he wants.
He's getting a bidding war started right now. CBS, Fox, Peacock, Netflix, ESPN, everybody is calling that man. He's going to make more money off the field than he did on the field. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It'd work less and work way less.
And I don't think he's stressful. I just know how he prepares. So as he does his intros to the week, and his intros would be gold, like if they were given to the public. Like he could prepare slideshows and go through every team and get you prepared in that moment. Like, man, screw just doing TV and having a segment. That dude could have an entire show just dedicated to him introducing the matchups, how they favor, what you're looking for. It would be insane. But like, I think he would have so much fun with that, and he'd stay around the game. Obviously, he wouldn't have that competitive piece, but man, he would kill in that time.
That's kind of what Gruden's doing right now. John Gruden each week breaks down offensive and defensive special teams and coaching matchups for the biggest games of the week, and he's entertaining with it. Mike Tomlin, here's the thing. Even if Tomlin wasn't prepared, just the way he talks is you just believe everything he's saying. It doesn't matter if he's talking complete nonsense. It's like I don't know, the way he speaks and the codes too. It's like he was going to be amazing at TV no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go a little bit moving forward here. Do you have any of your greatest? Let's go a little bit greatest favorite Tomlin-isms, greatest moments, whatever. Favorite Tomlin-isms that you remember from Mike Tomlin playing for him. You played for him for what? 15 years, man.
15 years.
That's one coach your entire life. I mean, you think about it. Since high school, you've had two coaches. So I think people need to realize that's a weird thing for you now too. You've had two coaches, or really since your senior year of high school, 3 coaches, right? So I mean, it's like, that's pretty crazy in half a decade or over almost 2 decades in football. So what's your favorite Tomlin-isms?
I think my favorite one is always, it's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes. I remember times he would, pit me against an O-lineman, or if I won, you're drinking wine. But the other guy squashing grapes is just like, that's what you're competing at. That's why, you might win a rep here and then the next one I might lose. And so, in that type of work environment, you're saying you can win and lose on every down. And, it kind of reminds me of Any Given Sunday, where it's like, the inches you need are all around you. And like, it just, there's so much technical work that can change between a win and a loss. And it kind of always hit home. I thought this year, the one where he said about if my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle, I was like, that is some shit I've never heard. And
you've never heard that?
I had never heard that one.
I've heard that before.
I was like, excuse me? Like, I had to read it a couple times because I was like, how the hell do you even think about that?
I mean, it's a good one. I mean, I don't know, dude. There's so many.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the eyelids one?
Cut your eyelids off.
Yeah, don't cut your eyelids off. I mean, what the hell is that? He's got to go searching for that stuff.
No,
man.
Sometimes it's like he's got a great memory too. So like sometimes it will be from like his high school coaches or college coaches. And yeah, he has fun with that.
All right, I want to go your personal memories. Do you have a favorite pregame speech or anything that a personal moment between you two? Obviously, everybody knows about you guys walking off the field together. Is there anything else that, like, over the 15 years you guys have gone through, or speech-wise, or anything that you could tell us about?
Oh man, he never made it about himself, and he hated like like taking credit for some of that, those big moments. There was I think the Detroit game,
This year?
yeah,
Oh.
and I think Mike T had passed some milestone, and it was pretty special. And he first I handed the game ball to Derek Harmon because we said we were going to get him a game ball. But then I also said we were handing a game ball to him. And you could sense he was kind of pissed off that it even brought him up. But you could see there was emotion there, and like he was thankful of that moment. Man, I remember early on in my career, it might have been like second or third, or no, probably third or fourth year. And, I'm starting to play a little bit more. He sought me out and was like, let's just go to dinner. And we got to talking, and we just talked about leadership, and we talked about how I had to grow and how he was going to put a lot more on my plate. But I just appreciated like him, like being direct and straightforward about it and saying like, no, like this is what I expected you. This is what you got to do. And that was just always really cool. Like he had been doing that my entire career, but like that was like the first time as you go from like a young guy into like expecting a lot more as a leader in that group.
Almost like he was like passing you the torch there. Like
not even. We went to it was.
But it's almost like saying like it's up to like because you're fourth year in. Let's be real. We know your story. You didn't get a whole lot. You didn't get a whole lot of chances until 2 or 3 years in, right?
Yeah.
So by year 4, to me, he's looking at you. I'm sure they're also talking about your second contract at that point as well too. So they need to figure out what the hell they got. Yeah. And it kind of felt like he was putting it on your shoulders, like this is your chance to take it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can ask for. Anything that made you laugh? What's your favorite? The one Tomlin story that makes you laugh the most?
So there's this thing he would do in our meeting rooms. Every time he start a Thursday meeting, he would, he always had his intern, or not his intern, but his video guy, Corey, put together, like, he finds all the pictures of every player on the team. And it's like a collage of one guy each week. And you keep looking at those pictures the following week if you win. And then it resets if you lose. And so there's just been some, like, there's been some pictures of some guys, and you're like, damn, how the hell did they find those? Like, you got TJ Watt as a young guy. You got TJ Watt, like, some of the most embarrassing pictures of TJ, or like me. And like, I had a full goatee in high school. And so people get a kick out of that. But like, there was always plenty of pictures. And we got a lot of laughs out of that throughout the years.
That's a Facebook problem, man.
Facebook
because we were like right in that Facebook era where like you got some bad. You used to do it to me. Honestly, I went back one day. I'm like, I'm deleting all this shit off my Facebook because you used to just pull out certain photos that I'm just like, oh my god.
That's why now I just save them, and then
I know, but I'm hoping they're not all saved. But if you're thinking you're gonna go find them in Facebook, you ain't gonna find them there. I'm done with that. All right, well, let's go to this season. Obviously, this year did not end the way you wanted. Lost in the playoffs again, but it's okay. What was some of your favorite moments this year from this season?
There's been some really cool moments. I think one of the coolest ones is Ireland, that entire trip. We got to, like, me and you got to go in the summer, but then going back during the game and the week was really special, not only for the team but for the Roonies, and the way Mike T prepared us for that, saying this one's for Dan, and how he really wanted this one for old man Rooney. The coolest play from that game was the pass from Aaron to DK, which DK was moving on, and the views of that play are insane. It was a track meet as soon as he got the ball.
Best part about that play is that Aaron ripping the smelling salt right before chucking that thing on the ground, and then just throwing a missile over the middle. Dude, that's the best play.
And even the ugliest play from that game is watching Peyton Wilson track down.
Oh, that's beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Watching him sprint down and that was beautiful.
That was like teach tape of like how you teach someone the play isn't over until it's over. Even the first game of the season, right? Aaron, like you're in a hostile territory. New York Jets, they're feeling high. Like they got a new quarterback, a new coach. You just booted Aaron out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like that game is like a movie because there are certain things that happen. You got Jalen Ramsey fighting with Garrett Wilson the entire game. At halftime, they have to be broken apart. And at the end of the game, you watch Jalen Ramsey just decleat Garrett Wilson to end the game. Aaron Rodgers got 14 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have Chris Boswell hitting a 60-yard kick to win the game. And didn't even blink. Like that was he had range on it. And so that game was really fun to watch too and be a part of. Even though I didn't have my best game, like just being a part of that was pretty special.
Yeah, the two games for me are probably at Detroit. And I think that was going to be a really tough game to win. And I thought it was a really big game. I don't think anybody gave you guys a chance to win that game. And I thought it was a really good effort by everybody in the long runs in that game with Jalen. Kenny G's catches in that game. Like a lot of big things happened in that game. Great game. And then my favorite game, that last one of the year against Baltimore, so much happened in it. It was great. I know it wasn't the playoffs, but it felt like a playoff game. It was a playoff game. And, I don't know. Those were my two favorite games, but so many good moments. I know the year didn't end the way we wanted it to again, but, I hate to say it, only one team can win it every year. And I want it to be us, but, you got to sometimes look at the positives considering the last week has sucked. It has sucked.
I've said very little, and that's for a reason. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah, Last week has sucked. But all right, let's go to current head coaching openings. What do you think is the best job? Obviously, Stefanski ended up in Atlanta. It looks like Robert Saleh's in Nashville now. John Harbaugh getting the bag in New York too. Let me ask you this: do you think any of them are a little upset they decided to take a job before the Buffalo Bills job came open? I mean, you got to want to go where the quarterback is. I hate to say it. It is a quarterback league. And I think if I'm Harbaugh and I see that job come open, as nice as Jackson Dart is, you probably would have liked to make your way to Buffalo.
Yeah. I think you never know. You never know if you would have been on their radar. You would like to think Harbaugh at least would have been on there. He's got a Super Bowl. But yeah, maybe Stefanski knew he wasn't going to be getting a chance to really interview with them, and maybe the Bills already have somebody in particular they want.
I mean, my thing is like, who are the names? It's a lot of coordinators and stuff. And I hate to say it. Anybody who gets excited about these coordinators, I have no idea, dude. Who knows if any of them are going to be good, right? Like, let me ask you this. Would you prefer a guy, and even this for the Steelers hire, a guy who's got head coaching experience, or do you go with a guy kind of like the Steelers did years ago with Tomlin, and they did it with Bill Cowher prior, guy who doesn't have any head coaching experience, but he's a young guy they believe can lead the program?
All are possible. The thing that's going to happen, though, is what if you get one of these established guys and you bring over a OC or DC with you?
That is older? That's a little older?
Older or younger. You just never know. And so there's a lot of different things that could happen. You start to think that you're behind the eight ball, but then you're like, damn, there's 8 other teams, and then there's teams that are still playing that could potentially change who they have with their coach. So it's just it's interesting. I don't know what the right choice is. It's just every team's got to adapt, and just we'll see.
Yeah, I don't remember a year where this many teams. I mean, Cardinals, Raiders, Falcons, Dolphins, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Tennessee, Buffalo. Like, it's a lot of teams, dude. And those are like legitimate teams. Steelers, Ravens, Bills, are all teams that have been in the playoffs. And Seattle's Cleveland's been in the playoffs as of relatively recent.
Mm-hmm.
All teams that have been in the playoffs in the last 5 years, like Atlanta too. Like, I mean, a lot of interesting jobs available out there, man. It's crazy where we're at coaching wise. I mean, were you surprised when McDermott got fired?
Yeah. I thought they were going to win the game, but you just never know why they made the decisions they do, and obviously you look around and you say, hey, I don't have Mahomes, I don't have Lamar Jackson to worry about. We got to win a Super Bowl right here, and you start to hear the outside noise, but is it right? I don't know. You can always take a step backwards too.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said too, I think you're kind of hinting at like the head coach is important, but who does he bring over as a coordinator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also matters, and who does he hire? I mean, very interesting though. I guess I wasn't shocked, but it is kind of interesting that you would fire a guy who, I mean, he's won like the most games of anybody since he's been a head coach too. So
yeah,
I don't know, very interesting jobs. And I don't know. Do you got any names? Any names down there? They got coordinators down there. Jesse Minter, Brian Flores. You played for Flores. You think he's got head coaching materials again?
B-Flow, he's been a head coach
again. Yeah.
But the thing I liked about B-Flow is, he's very detailed, and he speaks clearly. Even when he was just trying to learn the defense, he wanted to know every intricate part of it so that he could explain it to others, so he could explain to the linebackers, so that everybody could be on the same page.
Well, let's get out of the way from the head coaching job. I want to ask you about something. Did you watch any of the playoff games this past weekend?
No.
Okay. Did you hear? Actually,
I watched I lied. I saw the end of the. What was it?
Tell me it was Broncos Bills. Please tell me it was Broncos Bills.
No.
Did you see what happened there?
I watched the end of the Texans game. I did.
Dude, end of Broncos Bills. Did you see how Bo Nix got hurt?
No.
Are you familiar with this?
No.
You don't know that Bo Nix is out for the playoffs?
I know he's out, but I don't know how it happened.
He on a kneel. He was just centering the ball in the middle of the field. He led them down the entire, just centering the ball, slid down and broke his ankle. Yes.
He broke his ankle?
Yeah, after the game, they announced basically that he was out for the season and nobody could figure out where he got hurt because he had led them on a game-winning drive. And they basically showed it that when he was centering the football, he slid and broke his ankle. Have you hold on, wait. There are rumors circulating that he was celebrating in the locker room. Okay, well, hold on. Well, allegedly. We're going to put allegedly on that. But let me ask you this. You're going to an AFC title game. Your quarterback gets hurt in that fashion. What the hell is going on in that locker room?
Yeah, I probably would have killed whoever did that. It kind of reminds me when Broderick jumped on top of Aaron, and everybody was pissed at Aaron. We were like, bro, he is very fragile. Don't mess around.
He is very fragile.
He
plays in the NFL.
Bro,
he can take a hit.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be having to take a hit from your own teammate.
He is very fragile.
Bro, I hope it's not celebrating in the locker room, because if that gets out, that is going to be a crazy ass look.
I mean, just so bad, because it's like you're hosting a playoff game, and now it's Jared Stidham, who's made 4 NFL starts in his life.
And guess who's backing him up?
Who is backing
Ben
him up?
DiNucci
is back. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really? Ben DiNucci.
Oh, man. No, who said Sam Ellinger?
I think it's Sam Ellinger is what I thought it was.
I didn't think it was something about Ben DiNucci. Shoot, I don't know why.
You just like his agent. That's all that
is. Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, yeah. Any projections or predictions of who you think will go to the Super Bowl?
New England will go to the Super Bowl.
You only because of the Bo Nix news, right? I mean, that's the only reason why you're doing that. All right, nice. And then Rams Seahawks. Keep in mind, one of the people who work on your show is a very large Seahawks fan. It's
Rams.
Not me. I knew that was going to get you to pick the Rams.
I have a lot of respect for the guys on the Rams. I remember it was actually before my rookie year, I had torn my elbow, and I was training out at Dr. Andrew's spot down in Pensacola. And funny enough, Matt Stafford was training there too. We just got to talking, and so had a lot of respect for Matt over the years. He has been killing it, and it'd be cool to see him win another one.
You think he's done if he wins it? Go off in the sunset, right?
Yeah.
You'll have 2. I mean, at that point, you just got to go at that point, right? I mean,
man, think about if he wins 2.
Puts him in rare air, man.
He's going to be jumping some people.
It's let me ask you this. He gets 2, Breeze or Stafford?
I'm taking Stafford.
Wow. The 2 matter so much because the second one is crazy. Like, it's crazy.
And he will have done this one without, Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. He's
got Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Like, come on. Like, let's not act like they got nothing.
Right. I really understand that. But you have essentially lost one of the best defensive players of all time. Yeah. And went to the Super Bowl and won. Like, let's not, especially at the beginning of the year when they were talking about his back and everything. Like
what was that? That was all. They were all like, they were yanking our chain on that one, right? His back's fine. That dude came out slinging it, man. There's nothing wrong with his back.
Yeah, my back's a little bit, messed up from carrying y'all, but I'm gonna keep going.
All right, so you got a Patriot Rams Super Bowl. Ooh. All right, who's winning it then?
Oh,
it's the Rams. The Rams are winning that if they play that game. Yeah. I like Seattle though this weekend. I'm gonna go on the record. I like Seattle at home. That's a tough place to play. They look dominant too Saturday or Sunday, whatever day that was. All right. Well, do you want to go to the people's favorite part of the show?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the people's favorite part of the show. The part that you are contractually obligated to do. Ask Cam anything. Remember, go to all of our socials, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever else you find us, and ask Cam anything. Are you ready?
Sure.
Ask Cam anything.
Alec Hart. Do you think rookie QBs are rushed into playing too early these days instead of being developed? It's a good question.
Yes and no. I think, one, it provides a lot of great experience for a young rookie quarterback. I think the thing that they do is write a rookie quarterback off pretty, too early. Example with Sam Darnold. Sometimes you got to have the right staff in place. I just think if it's not working together at first, you need to look at what's going on around that quarterback. Are you protecting that quarterback? Are you giving him weapons? Do you have a defense that gives the ball back to him in certain situations? It's not just, hey, the quarterback's back there, he's got to make every throw. It's, can we provide some short fields for him? Can we get him a running game so that we don't have to put it on his shoulders? The best teams usually have a good balance. And sometimes it's not just putting my quarterback at harm's way.
Yeah, it kind of feels like you should build it around the quarterback instead of expecting the quarterback to adapt to your system, right? Yes. It's like what the Ravens had to do. They were with Joe Flacco, and then they had to flip everything on its head and go with Lamar, and it was the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
That actually just reminded me, though, a guy like C.J. Stroud has one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen, and then it kind of feels like he hasn't maybe taken the steps that people would expect him to take with how he's played his rookie year. You got to see him last week. He fumbled a couple times, as we talked about. How do you explain that development, or lack of development?
I think there just has to be more of a urgency with taking care of the ball. One, there's got to be easier throws. It can't just be, let's throw the hero ball. Obviously, it works in some cases, and you got a defense that can get you out of a lot of situations, but he's got a good running game. He gets hit a lot, and I think you got to look at that first. As much as you want to run the ball, you got to be able to protect him and make sure he can see the defense. Some of that is just understanding when to slide, when to get out of situations. I think when they played Denver, he got knocked out and he was done for about 3 or 4 weeks. Those are things you learn as you get older in this game. I can't take those opportunities. Live to see another day, and keep building around them if you can.
Yeah, it was just interesting watching them against the Patriots, where I'm like, I always remember him being more accurate than he was. The weather wasn't great, so I know that plays a role in it too. But just like throws that I would think CJ Stroud normally makes were behind guys, and I mean he had like a bunch of turnovers, but he could have had even more. So it was just a weird game from him. All right, Matt Stifler, 22. What are your 3 deserted island movies?
3 deserted island movies. Give me Ocean's 11.
Okay.
Give me Old School.
Okay.
Give me Heavyweights.
Oh wow, nice, all of them. Hey, I saw a movie this weekend, heist movie.
What heist movie?
What is it? Rip, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. It's pretty good. It was.
Tell us what it was about.
It's a heist movie. I'm not going to give it away. It's a nice little twist in the movie. They're police officers or DEA or drug, whatever agents in Florida, South Florida, and it's a very good story. And I really enjoyed it. Actually, it's one of the first movies I've seen in a very long time. So
you saw that before Sinners?
Yeah, I have not seen Sinners. I don't think I'm going to see Sinners at this point. I think I'm good. I get it.
You get it. What do you get?
I get it. I know. I've got the gist on what it's about. All right, let's go. Micah Robinson, 04. Favorite moment off the field and on the field this season? Well, we kind of did some of those, but do it. Let's hear what you got again.
Oh.
Don't go Ireland again. No Ireland.
Oh, okay.
No Ireland. You've done Ireland like 17 times. Can't do it again.
It was a fun trip.
Well, if the people don't know by now Ireland was fun, then they aren't listening. Okay.
They aren't. Favorite moment off the field. I got to visit the it's a children's home. And so they work directly with Children's Hospital. And a lot of times those kids have to come out of the hospital, but they need extended stay. And it's for younger kids. And I got to go there this year and just spend some time with the nurses, some of the patients. And I thought that was really cool. A little bit different, but just thankful to, be able to do those types of things and help those people out. They're always thankful of everybody's time and just a cool thing that Pittsburgh has that not a lot of other places do.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. What was your favorite on the field moment for you personally?
I don't really have one right now.
I mean, you didn't have one of just shoving your brother's ass into the end zone. I mean, that was a nice moment.
Yeah, that's cool, but there's a million things going on in my head where I'm like, I can't.
You're like, I don't give a fuck about my favorite moment on the field.
Yeah.
You're like, we just lost. I could give 2 shits about my best moment on the field. The season sucked as far as your eyes.
Yep, that's how I feel right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to get a little lighter here, but I could just see in your face like, I don't give a shit about my best moment.
Thank you for saying it, not me.
You're welcome. I could see it. I wanted the audio audience to realize like he hated the question I just gave him, and he doesn't care about it because they didn't get the end goal, and that's all that really matters to him. Yeah. So this year was a total failure for him. Okay. By the way, congratulations on second team All-Pro. We didn't get to mention it, but I do want to say congratulations, and for the old man, you still got it, dude. I mean, that was impressive. I thought you should have been first team, but I'm obviously coming from a place of bias. But congratulations, and who knows? Maybe you'll be top 100 this year in the NFL.
I don't give 2 shits about that.
I'm thinking about like anywhere from like 88 to 100 because they always.
I'll probably be 101. I'll probably get honorable mention. How about that?
I will. Honorable mention. Well, I don't know if you still get a video for that.
About that shit.
But all right. Well, thank you for playing Ask Cam Anything, and remember, go to any of our socials. You can even go comment on a Cam post and put Ask Cam Anything, and he will answer the questions. We will get any of those questions on the show.
Yeah. Before we end, I'll just do one question for you. What are your 3 deserted island movies?
Man. Man. Goodfellas. Man. The problem is like there's so many different heist movies I want to go with right now. Okay, it's probably an Ocean's, honestly.
Fast 5.
No, it's not Fast 5. If I have a TV there and it's on, though, I will watch it. Okay, and then I feel like you got to go some type of comedy. I don't know. What's a good comedy that I enjoy? There's so many of those.
Oh,
too.
I gotta change mine. Old school.
Which one
I'm
are you
taking
changing?
out. I'm taking old school out.
What are you putting in?
Superbad. Superbad's probably my.
Oh, I watched that the other day. That is, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, okay, so maybe some of the stuff, maybe I don't know. Like, I don't know, but it's still very funny. I still laughed quite a bit during Superbad.
Yeah, I feel
Very
like
funny.
there's so many people in that cast too.
Dude.
Yeah.
Emma Stone, Michael Cera, Bill Hader, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Like, even like the secondary people in it are hilarious. That's a really good movie. I don't know. Like, part of me wants to go like the other guys, Mark Wahlberg and
You love that.
so funny, dude. Unbelievably funny. And we had somebody on our show, Michael Keaton was in that movie too, and I love his character in that movie. Maybe the other guys, I don't know. It has to be though, like Goodfellas, a heist movie, then a comedy. But Goodfellas is automatically in no matter what.
You love you some Ray Liotta.
I do like Ray Liotta. Yes, I do. I'm a fan of his work. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got for you.
Well, good. All right, guys. That has been our episode. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Drop a follow and a rating wherever you stream your podcasts. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday.